What's going on, Tenners, and welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new boat. This is a Tracker 10. This is the 1036 model. Tracker has been building these 1036s forever. They've been the riveted hulls up until a couple of years ago. They dropped these new welded hulls. I have not seen one of these in person. We've got one here today. We're going to be doing some modifications to it. I figured while it's here, I might as well showcase it and show you guys exactly what you can expect to get if you're thinking about getting one of these. These things are pretty thin. They come in at 0.63. If you guys aren't familiar with the decimal points, that's 1/16 of an inch thick hull. In my opinion, it is way too small to be welding on and make a boat out of it. Majority of the riveted hulls come in about 0.73, maybe even 0.80. And the welded hulls that you see, they come in about 0.80 or 0.100, even up to 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch. Now this thing is super lightweight. It only weighs 115 pounds. That's literally half my body weight. That's crazy. It comes in at 9 foot 10 inches long, and across the beam it's 4 foot 4 inches. Obviously at the floor it's 36 because it's a 1036. I used to have one of these boats years ago. I had one that was a riveted hull, and let me just tell you right now, it was way too unstable for me. Personally, I took it out by myself a couple times, and it's okay. It's nice because it's super lightweight. I can throw it in the back of my truck bed. You know, I can drag it down, put it in the water by myself. This one's only rated for a 3.5 horsepower outboard. The one I had, I just used with a trolling motor on it. I put a little 12-volt trolling motor on it, and I would run around in some of the neighborhood ponds and stuff like that and catch bass and crappie and sunfish. And a couple of times I took it out with my brother-in-law, and he's not a very big guy. He probably only weighs like 160 pounds, but he did sit up on the front of the bench and he caught a fish. He stepped up on the side, like leaning over to grab it. And well, I was in the back, and the entire boat just leaned over and water started pouring over the side because he was leaning on it. I had to jump up in the front on the opposite side and grab him just because we were about to capsize the entire boat. So they are very unstable. Now, in my opinion, it's more of a one-person boat. It's not something you're gonna want to take out in any type of water that has any type of chop or waves or big boat traffic, anything like that. These are made for small ponds and electric-only outboards. I mean, a 3.5 horsepower outboard on this thing is a little bit overboard, but you know, it is what it is. Regardless, guys, I wanted to show you guys this thing. We're going to be doing a full build on it, and I'll get more into that once we get a little bit farther into the video. But I'm going to turn this camera around. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you can expect to get if you're thinking about getting one of these Tracker 10s. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's take a look at this thing. This is the Tracker 10. It's a 1036. It's on a table. It's literally super lightweight. It only weighs 115 pounds. I did build out one of these for Fisher Yin, and we did an entire build in it. It turned out pretty sick. I will show that up on the screen, and I will leave a link in the description of this video if you guys are interested to go check that out. He did not have one of the welded versions. He had a riveted version, but I mean, we maxed it out as far as we could as far as tricking it out goes, and the thing turned out pretty sick. But this one is a little bit different because it's a welded hull. Now, as you can see up inside of here, this front area, it rolls up dramatically. And if you're sitting up here, well, you don't have any ribs or anything to worry about stepping on. The only ribs that are in the boat is right here. This is literally the only rib that we have in here. Now, there might be some ribs inside of these benches. I'm not sure, but this is a very low profile rib. It only sticks up about 1/2 inch. I mean, that weld is god awful looking. That one is pretty good looking. That one is decent, and well, so is that one, but you know, it's hit or miss. There's so many crappy welds in here. Look at this. Like, what the hell is going on here, Tracker? You got this nasty looking weld right next to that one, which is decent. You got a little pinhole in the middle of your weld there. That one looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good, but you know, it is what it is. I just don't understand. I mean, for me personally, the 0.63 thickness of 1/16 of an inch, that's what I use for vertical walls. I would never use that for a hull, let alone a floor or anything like that, because it's just not thick enough. And there's not enough material there for the weld to really grip, to hold, and not crack under stress. And well, you got an entire boat that's built out of something that I would use for vertical walls. So keep that in mind. But it does have a big bench in the back right here. This bench is about 18 inches. And then he's got a big storage area in the back, or, you know, gas tank or a battery, whatever you want to put in here. But honestly, this boat, it says that it drafts in 5.75 inches of water. and it is capable of having a 3.5 horsepower outboard on it. It does have a weight capacity of 330 pounds. I just don't know, guys. I mean, like I said, I had literally the same exact boat, and I was sitting in the middle of the back bench seat. I had a little trolling motor and battery back here. I was fishing with my brother-in-law. He was sitting here, and he caught a fish. He was leaning over the side, and we started taking on water by the gallons. It freaked me out. We were only in about 6 or 7 feet of water, but I did have tackle boxes and rods and stuff. I didn't want to capsize this boat, so I jumped up here and grabbed him, pulled him back, and well, that was the last time I fished in this boat with another person. I actually, probably the last time I fished in it, period. I ended up selling the boat. I picked up one of those plastic pond prowlers because they are very stable, and you don't got to worry about them.
He is pretty healthy. He's really
something
dark
like
color.
This, it's very unstable. If you're thinking about standing up on it and fishing, if you're with another person and they make a sharp move left or right, well, somebody's going to go overboard. That's just the nature of the beast. It's a small boat. It's very, very unstable. For me personally, I need a 1448 to feel comfortable, especially if we're gonna build it out and I'm gonna be standing up on a deck. If you're standing on the floor, a little bit more stability, but this is only a 36 wide at the floor, and 36 wide is just not stable enough for me personally. But let's check this thing out. So look, a lot of people say, oh, these Tracker 10s, they're not a Grizzly. Well, if they're not a Grizzly, then why the hell do they have a Grizzly all welded sticker on the back? I call them Tracker Grizzly 10s, and you know, a lot of people give me grief for that, but there's a damn sticker on the back of the boat, people. Look over here. So we've got the original purchase sticker right here. Now this tells you this is a 2024 Tracker 1036 model, and there's your VIN plate, HID 24. The last two numbers give you your year of the boat. So it's got handles on here. It also has these transom tie down straps on here. So you got a place to hook up if you want to put this thing on a trailer. Now this boat is going to be used for ponds and rivers, off-grid type of stuff. This guy puts this in the back of his truck, and he's going to be taking it out with his wife and fishing in smaller waters. Now I don't really know if this is a good idea for him and his wife, to be honest with you, because like I said, they are very unstable, but it is what it is. We're going to be doing a lot of modifications to this. We'll get to that in just a second, but let's just go through this thing real quick. Now, inside of this transom, I don't think there's any wood inside of here. I felt up in the side, and it feels like it's aluminum. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sold on this transom. I mean, it's pretty thick. You got 1.5 inches here, and it's beefy as far as the welds and stuff go, but the material is super thin. The welds on this transom, back on these caps and stuff, they do look pretty good. And then you got your big bench here, and you got your only single floor rib in here, another bench here, and then this rolls up dramatically. This front area right here, I cannot imagine that anybody could stand up here and actually fish comfortably, because if you put the weight of a human up here, the back of the boat is literally going to come out of the water. It's that lightweight, it's that small, that I guarantee you if you stand up here, that the back of the boat will completely be out of the water, unless you weigh it down with some batteries, maybe an outboard or whatever. But yeah, this thing is very, very lightweight. Now I do like the fact that they did this winch eye like this. You can see it's got a plate in here. The plate is welded and bolted back through here. Now this top piece, it comes down, back and under another 1/2 inch, and that does make this top cap pretty strong. This top cap is one piece that wraps around, and it comes back down up underneath this face, and it has a weld seam that goes around here all the way around the front of this boat. You got 2 handles on here and the winch eye. This winch eye is pretty strong, so I do like the way they did that, but it's a 10-foot boat, so there's only so much you can do with it. The welds up underneath here, they look pretty good. The hull itself is literally brand new, so I don't know. He took this thing out a couple of times, and he wants to do some modifications to it. So as far as what we're going to do to it, well, I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do this, but he wants to remove both of these benches. He wants me to put a removable floor in here, and he wants to have 2 seat pedestal bases in the bottom where he's going to have a front and back seat pedestal base for him and his wife to fish. I don't know what type of outboard he's going to run. I don't know if it's a trolling motor. I really don't know too much about it, but that's the game plan. That's what he wants. He also wants me to weld pods on the back of this thing because he said it is very unstable. And the pods will help bring the back end of the boat up a little bit. I don't know if it's really going to give you a whole lot more as far as stability goes, because stability is based off of the width. And you know, you're not adding any width by adding the pods. You are adding length to it, so it will help bring the back end of the boat up if you got weight back here. I just don't think it's going to help with stability because that's based off of your port to starboard measurement. So we'll see though. I'm going to do whatever this customer wants because this thing's sick. I mean, it's a cool welded hull. It's tiny. I have my issues with it. I just feel like I've seen so many people that have bought these boats and they post up on the Facebook groups and stuff about how they have cracks. Majority of the cracks that I'm seeing are coming down here in these floor ribs where they're attaching the bench to it, or like the one rib that's up there. Majority of the boats that people post, they're not really buying the 10 footers. They're buying the 12 to 14 footers, and they have more floor ribs in them. And that's where they're seeing majority of the cracks. It's down here by these floor ribs. If you guys have one of these and you've had issues with this, well, leave a comment, let me know, because I know there's a lot of you guys out there. I've repaired a dozen of these in the past couple of years since they've come out, just because I'm a welder and these things crack religiously. Some of these welds are pretty suspect. I mean, that one is literally like halfway on the floor and not even attached barely to the top. That one's super ugly. I don't know, man. I like tracker boats. I own a tracker. I've owned multiple trackers, but this is just too small for me. If I were thinking about buying an aluminum hull that was a 10 footer, I wouldn't do it. I would go ahead and get yourself one of those pond prowlers or one of those plastic pontoon boats, those 10-foot boats. Well, they'll run circles around this thing all day as far as stability goes. And you can put an outboard on it if you want to, but they're not used for that. These smaller boats like this, they're basically just used for small lakes and ponds, neighborhoods, off-grid type stuff. And well, I just would not feel comfortable taking this thing out into any type of big water. Regardless though, it's gonna be a cool project. And the guy brought it to me because, well, he knows that I'm the guy that will say yes and I will build this thing out. Now, what I'm thinking about doing as far as removing these two benches in here, this is the only support you have going across to hold these sides together. And like I said, it's only 1/16 of an inch. So I'm thinking that if we're gonna remove these benches, we need to leave something here because these are welded to the side. I think we need to leave at least 2.5 inches over here and we'll cut it out there. And we might even have to add some more floor ribs because we got this one here. If there's not one inside of here, we might have to add maybe 2 more up in here. I might even have to build this front deck back a little bit farther because if he wants me to put a flat sheet in this floor, well, it rolls up so dramatically. We probably need to start it right here where this bench stops because it's a slight roll here, but man, if we bring that floor all the way up there, it's just not gonna fit. It's not gonna work out because if I'm gonna put a floor piece in here, I gotta at least make it out of like 090, or I'd like to make it out of 1/8 inch, the 0.125, because that's what I make my floors out of normally. It's gonna add weight to the boat. He's gonna be picking this up. He wants to have a removable floor. That way he can take it out, and if he wants to move the, I don't know. I mean, a removable floor in a boat this size, it just seems crazy. I mean, how am I gonna attach that? I'm gonna put some rib nuts or something into these 1/16 inch floor ribs, and he's gonna take screws out, take it out. I don't really know. I've got to cross that bridge when we get there, but I just wanted to showcase this boat with you guys because it's here and I'm in between projects. This boat's been here for a while. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I don't really know what to do with it. I've been brainstorming on it for a while, but I'm getting ready to get this thing going. This boat over here is a 1648. This is a sweet little project. I just painted this and, well, I need one more coat of paint on it. So we're bringing this one in. I'm gonna work on this because it's snowing outside right now and I can't do any painting until it gets a little bit nicer outside. And we're gonna take that one back out, put the 3rd coat of paint on it, and then we're gonna get back onto that project. In the meantime though, I am gonna go ahead and start making some custom pods to fit onto this little 1036. And then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with the interior of it. He does want to turf it, and he wants to get a full Trick 10s build. So it's gonna be a cool little project. You guys keep an eye for that. It's gonna be out on the channel very soon. All right, so there it is, the Tracker 10. It's a 1036 aluminum welded 063 hull. Super thin. Not exactly something I would recommend you guys putting a ton of money into and building out crazy, but you know what? The customer wants to do it, and you know me, I'm gonna do whatever the customer wants to do. I'm gonna take it to the next level. I'm gonna step outside my box. It's something that I like to do, something I'm good at. And it's not really many people that will step up to the challenge and just make the magic happen when it's time to perform. But hey, I work well under pressure. As you can see, we got a lot going on. We got boats in here. It's tight quarters right now. It's that time of year. We're running out of time, guys. Like, summer is not that far away. Spring is coming up quick. These John Boat Bass Fishing Tournament guys, like, their tournaments are starting in like 6 weeks. So I got a lot to do. So there's gonna be a lot of videos dropping for you guys. I do want to give a big shout out to Nicholas Kingston at Fabrics Direct for You. He was nice enough to send me about 8 of these cooler tops right here. This fits on a Yeti 45 quart cooler. And you can see it's got my Trick 10s logo in there. It's got his logo up here, Fabrics Direct for You. I will leave his link in the description of this video so you guys can go check him out. He sells all types of EVA foam and he does CNC cut. Now this is a marine mat foam right here. I've known Nicholas Kingston for probably about 4, maybe 5 years. He was one of the first guys that I started buying turf from. He's a super nice guy. I mean, literally all of the builds that I did when I first started out, the turf came from him. He's good people. If you guys want to get some turf for your boat, go check him out. He'll give you a good price on it, I guarantee you. Nick was nice enough to send me about 8 of these, and we're going to be giving these away religiously, guys. I don't have a Yeti, so if you guys have one and you want to get one of these, well, for this video, we're giving this one away right now. I'm also gonna be giving away a bunch of these on Instagram and Facebook. But if you want this one, all you gotta do is leave a comment in this video. I don't care what it's about. You can tell me this boat sucks. You can tell me you like it. You can tell me you have one. Anywhere in your comment, just leave a hashtag Yeti, and that will enter you into the giveaway. I'm gonna give this thing away probably maybe like the first week of February. Give you guys a couple weeks. See how many people we can get up in here. Go ahead and share it with your buddies and stuff like that, because I've got a bunch of these I'm gonna be giving away. I do appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like, subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get back to work.